Greetings fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the T-34-85 Rudy. This is a tier 6 Soviet premium medium tank with regular matchmaking. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on Swamp with tier 7 as the top tier and 3 artillery on each team. For this game I am platooned up with Insanely Crazy 14, who is in a VK 30.02M, Mixie 360, who is also in a VK 30.02M, Cowboy Arizona, who is in a Kaiju OI, and Noble 838, who is in an SU 100Y. My crew for this game is the crew that actually came with the Rudy, and this crew still only has 6th sense. We've gone to the A0 corner of the map so that we have some cover to hide from artillery, and we can use the close quarters fighting of this area to our advantage since we are in such a large platoon. We can simply overwhelm the enemies here with focused fire and well-coordinated tactics. At the moment it's pretty much just a game of whack-a-mole here. Tanks are popping up here and there and we're just taking shots. Us 3 medium tanks were definitely not going to make any sort of push until the SU 100Y got into position. Now besides the 3 artillery in this game, the biggest threat is the tier 7 platoon. Fortunately for us, their A44 is a little overextended, which makes them an easy target to take out and weaken their platoon. I've been quite happy with the flexibility of the Rudy's gun. It's not particularly fast shooting or hard hitting, but it's a nice balance between the two, and is really quite enjoyable to use once you get used to it. I'm quite lucky that I didn't take a direct hit from that artillery. I was tempted to use my repair kit, but since my crew doesn't have repairs on it, I want to hold on to it for as long as possible. My equipment loadout for the Rudy is a tank gun rammer, an enhanced gun laying drive, and coated optics. I really don't recommend any other equipment loadout for the Rudy. It doesn't make a good designated sniper, so a camouflage net is pretty useless. It's a well-rounded equipment loadout to enhance a Russian medium tank game style. Now the tier 7 platoon on the enemy team has made quite a big mistake in their dispersion this game. They're all quite spread apart on the map and aren't supporting each other properly, which may mean that they can have good games on their own, but they're not getting anything extra for being in a platoon. There's a T-29 sniping towards our base, and the other one is trying to make an assault move to our right, and the hammer has yet to make an impression on us. As a platoon, they should have went to one area on the map, just absolutely crushed that flank, and assuming they didn't take too many hits, they could have just dispersed after that. But the way they're spread out now makes it very difficult for them to succeed, and if there had been a second T-29 or the hammer tank supporting this T-29, this trap which my platoon set for this T-29 probably wouldn't have worked. I've got Noble 838 providing some overwatch fire for me as I perform a circle of death around this T-29. You can see that although the Rudy is not flying around this T-29 at blinding speed, it still has plenty of mobility to perform moves like this. To add insult to injury on that T-29, we managed to ammo rack him and blow off his turret. Now it's time for some easy shots on artillery, and we're trying to hit a target that's 550 meters away. And as you can see, the Rudy is more than capable of hitting a target from this range, although it's not going to do anything miraculous against heavily armored tanks from that distance. It is more than enough to take out a few pesky artillery. Since I was still pretty much full health and I had a low health SC-100Y supporting me, I decided to make an assault move and cause as much mayhem and chaos behind enemy lines as I could. And I get to have some extra fun with this because I have my loyal dog companion telling me when I've been spotted. I definitely like the idea of having this barking sound on one of my crews. I would get quite annoyed if it was on all of them, but it'll be a fun variation on one of my Soviet tanks. Now since the enemy hasn't shown any kind of defensive presence to stop me, I wanted to keep pushing forward and reach their base to destroy the last artillery. Because since we still have 3 of our own, if I take out their artillery, we can prolong the game as long as we like. Fortunately, the artillery misses his shot, and that leaves me more than enough time to finish him off. And that brings us up to 6 kills this game. Good job, Rudy. Now we're moving on to another T-29, and he still has a hammer platoon mate somewhere on the map, but he is nowhere to be seen. And once again, this is a little painful to watch because they have no platoon support for each other, and so this T-29 is no match for my fast shooting gun and the SU-100Y, which I still have covering me. Alright, now that brings us up to 7 kills, and 4 of those were tier 7 tanks. I currently have half the kills that my team has gotten this game, and all that's left is the hammer, which my team is able to find on the other side of the map towards our base. Even though the Rudy may be fast, it's still a long drive to find this hammer, so I have sped up this game clip quite a bit so that we can get back to the action. This hammer is pretty much at full hit points, and if he and that T-29 had been able to stick together, they might have made one heck of a final stand. But now he's isolated with a swarm of tanks around him, and he's approaching 3 artillery. That's not a fun situation to be in for any tank. I'm looking forward to getting the smooth ride crew skill on the Rudy so that I can make on the move shots like that more reliable, because I do plan to use this crew in tanks similar to the Rudy. Now everyone's super excited to get the final kill on the hammer, and I have a good chance to make it number 8 for Rudy, but my teammate blocks my final shot and manages to get the kill himself. That would have given me a Radley Walters medal, but I'm still very happy with how Rudy performed this game. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. For this game, I managed to make 88,000 silver without any multipliers, and I did not use my large kits or any APCR shells. I earned 7,056 experience with the 2x daily multiplier. In this game, I dealt 2,805 damage, assisted with 1,034 damage, and destroyed 7 enemy vehicles, which earned me Mastery Badge Ace Tanker, Top Gun, and Devastator, but unfortunately no high caliber medal this game. But that's a well-rounded performance for a tier 6 medium tank. I also got 5 points towards my Soviet completion for the Tank Madness. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 2,045. I had some great covery fire from my platoon mate, Noble 838, which allowed him to deal 1,381 damage. But we also had a great performance on our team from the VK-30.02D, which got 2,329 damage and 3 kills. Now that tier 7 platoon on the enemy team all performed quite well, but they just weren't in good positioning to support each other, which took away a huge advantage that they had that game. I managed to hit 22 of my 31 shots and penetrate 20 of those. That's some fairly good reliability for a Russian tier 6 medium tank. In terms of crew and module damage this game, I injured the commander in the T-28, injured the driver in the SU-14-1, damaged the ammo rack in the Hellcat, destroyed the ammo rack in the T-29, and destroyed the turret in the Hammer. Well, that's all for this game. I've been having a blast with the Rudy, and I hope you are too. This tank is a really good representation of the low-tier Soviet medium tank game style, and it's a really fun tank to use. I'm looking forward to many more games of Rudy and I barking and biting our way to victory. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.